Good morning, everyone. This is Joyce. We'll be doing some chair yoga today. I'm having problems with my speaker, so I had this headset on, but no problem at all. So you just need a chair, and we will be coming out of the chair also. And always move in your own range of motion. So let's get started. So just sitting in your chair where you're comfortable. And we're starting to relax our shoulders down. Just let them fall away from your ears. And your hands where it's comfortable for you. We're going to start by taking a deep belly breath. So we're expanding the belly as we're inhaling, going up into the lungs and all the way up into the throat without lifting our shoulders. And then we're exhaling from the throat, the lungs, and down into the belly and relaxing here. We're inhaling and exhaling through the nose. So it's a deep breath again. Expand the belly out, filling up the lungs until you feel it up into your throat. And then exhaling, just reversing that. Move this chair just a little. And two more deep breaths like that. And we're relaxing the jawline and removing the tongue from the roof of the mouth. Starting to move. We'll be doing a lot of movement in our joints, which is so important for us. And we're starting with the shoulders, rolling gently, one at a time. And as we're lifting, we are relaxing at the base of our skull. Not adding tension there, just getting rotation in the shoulder. If this is bothering you or painful in any way, just lift and down or forward and back. So we're just gently rolling back, taking as much time as you need. And then we're rolling in the opposite direction. If you want, you can lift the entire arm, or just focus on the shoulder more. Taking deep breaths. And one more set. And then we're going to let the shoulders relax back down. Let's drop the arms, and we're inhaling, lifting the arms. Our palms are facing up. Exhaling, let the arms float down. We're moving all 10 fingers in the joints of the fingers, not just waving the fingers, actually moving at the joints. Adding in the chin, in the neck, lifting the chin, and drawing it down again in your range of motion. And I'm inhaling all the way up, exhaling down. And one more. The arms come down. We're going to drop the arms and just start to move at our wrist. A lot of rotation in the wrist. Sorry, I forgot to move my sleeve. And then we're changing that direction. I hope everybody is feeling well today. We have a beautiful day with sunshine out. It makes me feel better. And then we're dropping the arms, and we're starting to reach from side to side. You need to take your feet out wider so you feel safe where you're not going to slide out of the chair. Take your feet out wider. Remember, moving what's in your range of motion and where it's enjoyable and comfortable for you. Always staying relaxed as much as we can, but still moving. And here we're keeping our shoulders pressing down and just reaching. We're curving the spine here. It's lateral flexion. Think of a C curve in your spine. Just let the arm hang. You can also take the opposite arm to your waist if you want to, and change out, especially if you're feeling it in your lower back this morning. And one more set. And then with our arms still hanging down, going to lift the arms again. This is called our falling leaves. We're moving the fingers again in the joints and the fingers, not just wiggling the fingers. Deep breath, inhaling all the way up. Exhaling all the way down. And keep in mind, you never have to go over your head with your hands. You can stay low, lifting the arms where it's comfortable. This is our last one. Letting the arms float down. And then we're sitting up straight without arching the spine, our shoulders over our hips so we're not leaning forward or back. Going to move at our hips. We're drawing a big circle. A lot of rotation in the hips. If you've been sitting a lot, the hips tend to get really tight, especially the hip flexor muscles. They seem to tighten up anyway. So we're exhaling when our chest is forward, inhaling when we're coming back and our chest is open. This can be a small circle or a really big circle for you. As we're leaning to one side, try to keep the opposite hip down so we're not lifting the hip, keeping our hips squared up and level. And then we're going in the opposite direction. Now I'm coming a little deep here. You don't have to. You can stay with the chest lifted or bring the chest closer to your thighs. When you're leaning one side, your opposite hip will lift slightly. We just don't want it to leave the chair. Focus on your breathing also. And we're doing 2 more circles here. And we're sitting back up. Resetting our shoulders. Paying attention to our shoulders. A lot of times we have shoulder injuries, the rotator cuff. If you do, always modify. Going to take your right hand behind. I'm going to turn, and it can stay on your lower back, or you can reach for your opposite arm, and then your right shoulder draws back, so it's not drawing forward, it's drawing back. Stretching the shoulder, also a nice chest opener. Chest openers are good for the cardiac muscles. It's good for circulation also, and it feels good to open up the chest. Take a deep breath. Exhale, release, and we're going over to the other side. Remember, you can stay right here at the lower back. Don't have to go any further. You can slide the hand towards your opposite arm, which would be your right arm. Again, you don't have to touch the arm. You're probably more flexible on one side than the other. I am. I have more flexibility on this shoulder, and we're taking a deep breath again. Remember, as we're inhaling, we're just filling up the lungs. Exhale, release. Just roll the shoulders gently. You can roll them both at the same time. It tends to put pressure on the base of my skull when I do. So I'm doing one at a time. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale, relax. Going into our cat and cow, which is arching and rounding the spine. If you have any herniated disc, you might want to take a slight arch and a slight rounding. If not, you can come into a deep arch of your back. Start at the tailbone, tuck it under, scoop the belly in, and the shoulders and chin will come forward. Inhale. We typically inhale when our chest is open in yoga, which would be here, but it doesn't matter, just as long as you're breathing and we're not holding our breath. Don't want to hold our breath. Want to Still breathe. So we did lateral flexion of the spine when we were reaching from side to side. Now we're arching and rounding the spine, moving our spine in every direction, but moving it correctly. And movement of our spine sends out nourishment to our body. Important to keep the body moving and in motion. We're doing one more set, arching the back, taking a deep breath, and then we're ending in our cat stretch because we did a reverse flexion of our spine here. We're correcting that flexion, reaching the arms out or keeping them down, and bring the hands together if you can. You're reaching forward with the fingers, draw the chin down. We're really pressing our shoulders down so we feel it in the lat muscles in our back. Also helps to strengthen the back muscles here. And then we're inhaling, sitting up. Relax the arms down again, and we're going back into our falling leaves 4 times. Let the arms float down as you're exhaling. We'll be able to relax a little bit more when we float the arms down, not carrying any tension in the neck or our shoulders. And one more. Hands can stay on your legs or arms can come down. Moving into the neck also gets very stiff. Mine does. Dropping your right ear towards the shoulder. Now we're not lifting the shoulder, we're keeping our shoulder down, just moving the head. Again, in your range of motion, stay here. You'll feel on the opposite side, on the left side of your neck. And then we're turning our head looking down and drawing the chin in towards you. Holding the stretch for just a moment, so take a breath. And then as we're inhaling, we're lifting the chin, going into a half circle. We call this rainbow, just nice name. And then we're dropping over to your left. Now my right shoulder is wanting to lift. I have to be aware of that and keep it down. And we're turning our head looking down towards the floor and drawing your chin back towards your chest. Again, where it's a comfortable stretch, no strain and no pain. We're lifting the head, coming back to neutral position, inhaling, turning your head as far as you can to your right. If you want to use fingertips on the jawline for a deeper stretch, go ahead. Just try not to pull on the neck. And then we're inhaling, slowly turning to your left. Again, you can use the fingertips, you don't have to. And then we're bringing the head back to neutral. Our shoulders are pressing down, drawing the chin down as far as you can with no pain. And then we're looking forward. Lift the chin slightly. For me, my range of motion is here. I'm stopping right here. I'm not going any further. Taking my head way back hurts my neck, so I just don't do it. No big deal to take options. Then we're looking forward. We're in a neutral position again with the head. Going into a gentle twist, twisting to your right. So now we're twisting the spine, and spinal twist helps to get rid of toxins out of our body. What we're doing as we're twisting, it's like wringing out the organs. And your back shoulders drawing back. Take a breath. We're inhaling, exhaling, twisting other side. And because we are doing twist and trying to rinse out the organs in the body, you may get lightheaded from that, from moving toxins around in the body. That's normal, that's natural. And you may also get nauseated. If you do, just stop what you're doing. And then we're coming out of this twist, relax again. For just a moment, take a deep breath. Let me find my water. Excuse me. And then we're taking the bottom of our feet together and our knees are apart. Several options here, going to move the hips some more. We're inhaling, lift the chin, draw the knees inward. They don't have to touch, mine are not touching. Exhaling, knees apart, and draw the chin down. Keep flowing here, inhaling and exhaling. Again, just making sure you're breathing. And during our yoga practice today, we want to go into a nice stretch, but not to the point of pain. Don't want to overstretch. And then release, sitting up, excuse me. Stretching out our right leg, and we are on the heel. Draw your toes back. I'm in a metal chair, it's a little slick. I'm trying to slide out, so just be careful of that. We're drawing our chest forward. We're hinging at our hips, so we're not rounding our spine. Leading with the chest as we're coming forward. Reaching out and over is a deeper stretch. But maybe you're feeling it in your lower back today if you are, both hands over to the opposite leg, to the leg that is bent. Staying here for just a moment, take a breath. Inhaling, sitting up. We're keeping our legs here, adding in another twist to your left. So we're twisting to the outside of our bent leg, and we're drawing that shoulder back. You can turn your head and look behind. Remember, no strain in the neck here. Coming out of our twist and changing legs. Careful with the chair. I'm having to hold on my chair so I don't slide out. We're on the heel, and we're on the heel so we can stretch behind the leg. Your toes are drawing in towards you. Let's take a deep breath. Exhale, draw the chest forward, moving into your range of motion, either reaching out or both hands over to your right. I'm opposite from you. We're inhaling, sitting up, exhaling, twisting to your right. We have not moved the legs. If you need to, go ahead. And we're taking a breath in. Coming out of our twist, slide the leg in. Let's go back into our falling leaves. And because we are doing a lot of movement in the spine, trying to release toxins from the body, it is important that we drink water during the day. It's important to drink water during the day anyway, but especially after our yoga practice. Does not matter if we're doing it in the chair or on the mat, we get the same benefit. As the arms come all the way down. Going into our caterpillar, this is a great movement for your spine. I'm going to turn where you can see my spine. Leading forward with my chest, so we're not rounding here. Nice straight lines on your tailbone to the crown of your head, and our chin is not in our chest. Starting at the tailbone. Let's take a deep breath first, sorry. Exhale, start at the tailbone, tuck it under, scoop the belly in, our shoulders come forward in our chin, and then we're inhaling, sitting straight up, still inhaling, coming forward, exhale, starting at our tailbone. A little different from our cat and cow because we're not arching the spine. We're lengthening and then rounding. This also helps to open up the thoracic spine and stretch the muscles around our spine. We're moving slow at your own pace, Do this during the day while you're watching TV, just to loosen up and not get stiff during the day. And 2 more. And then we're sitting all the way up. When you're ready, don't let me rush you. Remember, we're always resetting our posture. And then we're stretching both of our legs out, pressing your toes towards the floor. They don't have to touch the floor. And then taking the hands behind and lifting the chest. Lean back slightly if you can. This is our fish pose. It's the same thing that we do on the mat. It's a chest opener. Lift the chin slightly. Try not to take your head all the way back. It's too much weight on our neck when we're doing that in this position, or it is for me. Take another deep breath. Exhale, sitting up, and we're stepping our feet in. Do a little more movement in our legs. Picking up the right leg. You can support the weight of your leg or not, and we're just going to bicycle the leg. Or your option is to slide the foot back and forth because you'll still get movement in the knee that way. You don't have to lift the leg off of the floor. This is our last one, and we're changing legs. And what we can do on one side, we may need an option on the other side. I'm that way in a lot of parts of my body, and that's no big deal to take an option. One more. Take a nice deep breath. And we're picking up the right leg, support the weight of the leg, and rotate the ankle. If you don't want to lift the leg or if that's painful, keep the heel on the floor, but still move the ankle. We're going in the opposite direction with the ankle. Now we're going over to the other side, the other ankle. Mine's making a lot of noise today. It helps to get that out. A lot of times it's calcium gas or it's tendons and ligaments that are making that sound. Let's rotate in the opposite direction. Remember, your option is to keep the heel down. You can also point and flex. And then we're bringing the leg back in. Let's go back into the falling leaves. We need a nice deep breath in between our movement so that we can focus on our breathing. And one more. Let the arms float down. And then bring the arms all the way down. Going to take our fingertips together. The palms are not together, just our fingertips. And we're drawing circles here. We have nerve endings in the tips of our fingers that relate to the brain. The brain work never hurts, does it? And then we're changing the direction. It's okay if the fingers come apart. Mine are. No big deal. And then relax down. Going to lift both of the arms, palms facing forward. We're flexing at the wrist, brushing down. And then fingertips down, correcting that reverse flexion in the wrist. And then one more. Going to take the right leg out to the side of the chair, and we're on the heel. Our toes are drawing in. Your opposite leg, your left leg, kneecap and toes facing forward, and we're coming forward with the chest. Nice stretch on the inner thigh. We're keeping our head up above our heart, not dropping the chin down. And we're inhaling, lifting up. Bring your toes to the floor, adjust your foot, and toes are facing forward. Drag the leg in. Use the inner and outer thigh pressing out. Using the outer thighs, we're pressing out. We're on the heel and our toes are up. Take a deep breath in. As we're exhaling, the chest is coming forward. Try to relax through the jawline and the neck. Inhaling, sitting up, taking your toes where they're on the floor and facing forward, drag the leg in. Going back to some deep breaths here, our falling leaves. Moving the fingers where it's comfortable. A lot of times arthritis sets up in these joints. It's so important to keep the joints moving. Last one. The arms come down. And then we're shaking out the hands, moving the wrists, the hands, and relaxing the arms down. So maybe you might need a little water at this point, and we'll come out of the chair. When we're doing movement in the chair, you can stay in the chair. I may have to adjust the computer so it doesn't cut my head off. So you can stay in the chair or you can come standing. Let me move this just a little, sorry. Take a breath while I'm moving this. I am talking a lot to you today. When we go into our relaxation, I won't talk as much to you. But we're standing in our mountain pose. Soft bend in our knees and our hips right over our ankles, or you may need to come wider. We're going into our sun salutations. We're starting by inhaling, stepping the right leg straight back, starting on the toe, and then bring the heel down. When you do, we're bending the front knee. Our feet are about the distance of our hips. The tailbone tucks under just slightly. If you can let go of the chair to work on some balance, go ahead, or just keep a few fingers on the chair or the whole hand. Still getting benefit even when we're holding on to the chair, getting benefit working the legs. We're taking a deep breath in. One more deep breath here. And then we're exhaling, taking the hands to the chair, and we're stepping both feet back. Stepping your feet back and the chest coming forward. You're looking down, but your ears are either above our arms or in alignment with the arms. Pushing the hips back, soft bend in the knees. We're in a flat back. If you can, you may arch slightly, that's fine. Then we're inhaling, lifting the upper body, coming into plank, drawing our shoulders down. And then cobra pose, arching the back, lift the chin, and you'll feel a nice stretch through our belly area. And then back into downward dog. We're in a flat back, but tucking the tailbone under to stretch the lower back and reverse, correct the reverse flexion we just did. We're inhaling, lifting up the upper body and stepping the right foot forward. We're back into a lunge. Working on balance or still holding onto the chair. And balance can be wherever, the arms can be wherever it helps for your balance. They don't have to be together. Pressing through the back heel, the back leg is straight, always a soft bend in our joints. And we're relaxing the shoulders down, even though we're standing. Oops. You may have to take your feet out a little bit wider for better balance, and that is fine. Stepping into mountain pose again, you may need to walk the feet out but feet are hip distance again. And we're inhaling, lifting the arms. Exhaling, floating the arms down. Back into our falling leaves, but we're standing. Remember, you can do all of this in the chair. And if your balance is off or you might feel a little lightheaded today, just do all of this in the chair. One more. Coming back into our mountain pose, and that can, your fingers can be open and active, or just let the arms hang down. Going back to our sun salutations one more time. We're starting with the right leg straight back. On the toe, bring the heel down and bend the front knee. Tailbone tucks under. Want to feel it in this hip here. And tucking our tailbone under takes the arch out of our back here. Take a nice deep breath. We're inhaling again. Exhaling into downward dog. I'm using the back of the chair. You can always use the front of the chair and come a little bit deeper if you want to. I'm going to stay here. You can see me a little bit better up here. So we're pushing the hips back, soft bend in the knees. We're lengthening through the arms. If it's painful for your shoulders, bring your hands to your legs. We're inhaling, drawing the body into our plank. As we're exhaling, we're drawing the shoulders down. Now my chair is wanting to slide, so I'm not in a complete plank, which is fine. And then we're inhaling cobra, which is lifting the chest and our chin, arching the back. Inhaling, exhaling back into downward dog. We're tucking the tailbone under again. Lifting the head, inhaling, stepping the right foot forward, we're back into a lunge. You can take the leg back further if you want more of a stretch. We've been moving over 30 minutes, so the body is nice and warm. Just try never to overstretch. And then we're coming back into our mountain pose and falling leaves again. Two more. Coming back to mountain pose when you're ready. Adding in a little chest opener here by taking the hands to the lower back, or they can come to the waist and draw the shoulders back. Just draw back until you feel it across the chest, and then lift the chin slightly. And release. Let's go into our warrior series. Starting with the right leg back. Bring the heel down, slightly angle your foot. Align heel to heel or out a little wider. I don't think you can see my feet, but that's all right. And the front knee bends. We are in warrior one. Hands can come together, elbows apart, or you can take the arms up. This feels best for me here. The tailbone tucks under. Stay there. If you want to do the warrior series in the chair, then you're here or here with your opposite leg back. When my arms are up, my shoulders tend to draw up. This just works best for me. Do what works best for your body. Keeping our front, this will be your left leg. Knee facing forward and the toes. Press your knee to the outside of the foot. Inhaling, exhaling, turn the shoulders, extend the arms. Adjust your feet if you need to. Tailbone tucks under, don't want to arch here. taking care of the lower back. If your fingertips start to tingle or your hands, bring them below your waist and see if that helps. Arms do not have to extend. They can come to your waist, but if you can, reach out. We're looking straight down our front arm, turning the palm up and reaching out. Reverse warrior. We've lifted the chest, the front arm. And the back arm can hang down, relax, or take it to the back of your leg. Reach up higher if it feels good. And your eye gaze is where your balance is good. So you might want to look at your hand or take the hand up and looking up. The more we get our eye gaze up, the more of a challenge it is for our balance. We're inhaling, lifting the arm, going into our triangle pose, changing out the arms, press the hips back and straighten the front leg. You can have your hand on your chair, on your leg, but not on the kneecap, above or below the knee. And we're trying to stack the shoulders. The top shoulder over the bottom shoulder. Remember options, hand can come to your waist. And breathe. Sometimes when we're trying to set our form or go into a movement, we tend to hold our breath. Don't want to hold our breath. Bring the back arm down. Lift the head, the chest. Turn the shoulders. We're facing our front leg. And we're tipping from the hip. So we're in a flat back, not rounding here. You can stay up with the head lifted up high or come deeper. Now this is a deep stretch in our hamstring. This is the pose we're more likely to overstretch in. So being careful here, it is a deep hamstring stretch. Even with my head lifted, this is deep for me today. Coming out of this safely, we're lifting the head, the chest, bend the front knee. When we find our balance, stepping the back foot in. Back into our falling leaves so we can take nice deep breaths in between, and we're moving more joint movement. Two more. Last one. Feels good to take a deep breath. Move my chair out of the way. Going into warrior series on our other side. Starting with your right leg back, the heel down, slightly turn your foot and then readjust your posture by chest forward, tailbone tucks under. Arms can reach out, remember. And take a breath. Again, this works best for me. I can open my chest. I can relax my shoulders down. If you want, you can spread the fingers out or keep them together. A little stretch by spreading out our fingers. Keeping our front leg there. Press the knee to the outside of the foot. And inhale, lifting the arms. Exhale, we turn the chest, warrior two. So now our hips are open here. The tailbone tucks under, arms extend. Remember, if fingertips are tingling, bring them down below your waist or hands to your waist, or let them hang if you need that option today. Looking straight down the front arm, turning the palm up, reaching out as far as you can so we can feel it in the front leg. And reverse warrior. The back arm relaxing down, reaching up if it's comfortable. But we're keeping the front knee bent. The more we lean back, we have a tendency to straighten the front leg. Want to stay in a lunge, working the legs and stretching. And we are inhaling, lifting, reaching up, changing out our arms. Exhale, press the hips back. We straighten the legs, and now we're in our triangle pose. Again, try not to hold on to the kneecap. We try not to hold on or pull on our joints. You can use the chair also. Bring the back arm down. Lift the upper body, turn to face your front leg, feel the hips square up, and tipping from the hips coming forward, and we're moving slow in this stretch. Don't want to overstretch. Coming out of this safely by lifting the head, the chest, then the front knee, and we're stepping the back foot in. Take a breath. One more standing stretch. Coming behind your chair, and we're taking the feet out wide. We're starting with the toes facing forward. That's to protect our knees. The chest comes forward, pushing your hips back. I've just moved the chair where you can see. And this is our hamstring stretch. You can take your hands to your legs, again, not on our kneecap, or hands to your chair. You can take your hands to the floor, that's fine, but we're keeping the head lifted. Don't want to get lightheaded, especially since I can't see you. You want to keep your head up. We're holding this stretch for a moment. We're inhaling, standing up. Keeping our feet out wide, but we're turning the toes out. And we're bending the right knee. The longest muscle in our body is in our thigh. And that's why we burn more calories in our legs, because of the muscle in our legs. Over to the other side. Muscle burns more calories than fat, remember. Oh, nice stretch for me today. Ooh, it actually feels wonderful. We're standing up, holding on to the chair, going to use our ankles by taking the toes in, the heels, the toes, the heels. And then we're coming back to our chair. And let the shoulders come down. Just take some deep breaths. Remember, we're moving the chin also, moving the fingers. Maybe it's not comfortable to go above your head with your hands. That's okay, just move. We always adjust the movement to work for our body. Remember, in yoga, there's no competition. And we're bringing the arms all the way down. And let the arms drop. And then we're just patting, pressing back, palms facing back. Take a deep breath. Exhale through your mouth this time. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Then we're relaxing the arms down. Flexing your right foot, and we're staying at the ankle. See how that feels in your knee and your hip. You can also come up above your knee. You do not have to come in this position. This would be a deeper stretch. Try not to force your knee down with your hand, but just press it down. And then if you want more, the chest comes forward. You should feel it back behind. These are really good stretches if you have sciatica, which I have from time to time. Sciatica, we have to keep the hip flexor muscles loose. If you want to reach through the legs, again, this would be a little more extreme. We're holding this stretch. Come out of it if it hurts. Inhale, sitting up, taking your foot to the floor if it's not, and we're taking it to the side of the chair, and your knee is facing forward. It's not coming out. Sorry, I hate to keep doing that. And then we're leaning back, pressing through this leg that's behind. So you feel it in the quadricep muscle, being aware the shoulders are not creeping up on us, and lift the chin. Ooh, nice stretch for me today. Hello, thigh. Yeah. We're inhaling, sitting up. Let's drag the leg in. Going to the other side. Flex the foot. Remember, you don't have to come up above the knee. You can stay low. And I should have told you this on the other side. If you cannot cross this midline of your body, have your foot to the floor on the outside of the foot and knee pressing out. You can still get a stretch that way, may not be as deep. Our chest coming forward to deepen the stretch. And hold this stretch for a moment. And then if you want to come deeper with hands reaching for your shin, you can, you don't have to. Again, it's a deep stretch for me today. Take a breath. And then we're sitting back up with both feet on the floor, going to turn sideways in our chair. And both feet are on the floor, sitting up straight. If you have osteoarthritis, you may not want to use the back of the chair to twist. So you can twist without using the back of the chair. Using the back of the chair is a lever. It helps you to twist deeper, and that may not be good for the lower spine. So you can just turn and face the back of the chair. Still a nice spinal twist. Coming out of our twist, still facing the same way, but our front leg comes to the front of the chair and that arm comes up. And bring the arm down, turning to the other side. Sorry, don't mean to rush, running out of time. Starting with the twist first, facing the back of the chair. We'll be back to back here. Coming out of our twist, sliding your front leg back. Use the front arm or hand to your waist. Again, this is lateral flexion. We did some lateral flexion in the beginning of our practice today. And bring the arm down. Foot to the floor and we're facing back around. Let the arms fall and go back into our falling leaves. Two more. Keep moving the fingers as much as you can. Do a lot of these things during the day just to take a nice deep breath. I know we've all been inside for a long time, but we still have to move the body. So let's relax for just a few moments. So sitting back in your chair where you're comfortable, but we're not slouching. Still sitting up, but leaning back. Move your feet where you're comfortable and your hands where you're comfortable. The palms can turn up. And for me, my shoulders draw forward. So I turn mine down. So let's take a deep belly breath again. And you can close your eyes if you'd like. Expand the belly. Breathe the breath into the lungs all the way up into the throat, but we're not lifting our shoulders. And then exhale through the throat, the lungs, and the belly. One more breath like that. And then just breathing normal for you. And to practice just a few minutes of meditation, choosing a word, a very positive word for you, and repeating that word to yourself. So it could be a word, it could be the word sunshine. We're repeating that to ourselves, still inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And by all of us having a positive word to focus on, we all have a positive thought together. And we're relaxing the tongue, removing it from the roof of our mouth. Taking a few moments just to be still and to be quiet. And then we're drawing our hands together with the thumbs touching the heart. Inhale, lifting the arms and the chin. Exhale, draw them down. Still exhaling, reaching out, round the spine. Chin is down. Inhale, drawing in. Still inhaling as we're lifting. One more time like that, or like this rather. Reaching out, round the spine. Draw the hands in. Inhaling, staying here. Exhale, bring the hands down to the heart again with our shoulders down. A deep breath. We're exhaling through our mouth. One more like that. And namaste, everybody. Namaste is a greeting. In some languages, it means hello or goodbye. It's just a greeting. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll be back on Friday with some hand weights or whatever you want to use around the house, canned goods or anything like that. Thank you so much. Again, my name is Joyce. It's been my pleasure. I can't wait to meet everyone, and I hope to see you Friday. Thank you so much. Goodbye.